Okay guys, so in a room of height 6 meters, a ball is projected from a point P. P is 1 meters from the floor. The velocity of the projection is 9.8 root 2. The angle of an angle of 45 degrees to the horizontal. The ball strikes the ceiling. The ball strikes the ceiling at Q without first striking the wall. So where is the wall again? Ceiling before wall. It doesn't give me how far the wall's away because it doesn't really have to. It just says that it hits the ceiling before the wall. Find the length of the straight line PQ. It wants me to find this distance here, doesn't it? PQ. Now PQ is made up of what two components, guys? PQ is made up of an SX and a SY. Would you agree with that? An SX and an SY. And if I were to use Pythagoras' theorem, I could find out the line of PQ quite quickly. So my goal for the question is SX and SY gives me PQ. Okay, so that's the first little bit of work done. Now, how far does it rise? You got to set up your system. Okay, so what we're going to do first and foremost is we're going to break up your starting off velocity, because we have to do phi x, phi y, we have to do sx followed by sy. Phi following u plus at, sx and sy following ut plus a half at squared. Now we're going to break up the velocity, the 9.8 root 2. We're going to break that up into, that's 45 degree angle, right? So that's going to be 9.8 root 2 cos 45. And that's going to be 9.8 root 2 sine 45. And what do we know about cos 45 and sine 45? They're both 1 over root 2. So they're just going to get rid of the root 2. So we're going 9.8 in both directions. Now, the velocity going directly to the right, does that ever change? The velocity going to the right? No. So that is 9.8, and it's always going to be 9.8. What about the velocity going up? Will that change? The component going upwards. It will change because it's 9.8 minus gravity times time. We're going to assume gravity is 9.8. It tells you on the test paper anyway. So minus gt. Next thing we're going to do is sx. Sx equals ut. So it's going to be 9.8t. A half at squared, anybody? Does it have any acceleration? No, so just leave it as 9.8t. What about sy? It's your initial velocity u, which is 9.8t, minus a half at squared, minus 4.9t squared. Okay, we're in business, okay? Now, next thing. What height have we ascended when we hit the ceiling? 4.9, because we were 6, but we started 1.1 off the ground. So all what we did was we went 4.9. So sy equals 4.9. Okay, it doesn't give us anything about s of x. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to put in 9.8t minus 4.9t squared equals 4.9. Divide both sides by 4.9. Bring it over. T squared minus 2t plus 1 equals 0. That was quite convenient. T minus 1 equals 0. T equals 1. 1 second. Okay? So, what we can find out next is, we know the sy is 4.9. We now need to find out what the sx value is. The sx value is 9.8t, which is going to be 9.8 multiplied by 1, which is 9.8. 9.8 meters this way. We're then going to do Pythagoras' theorem. When you do Pythagoras' theorem, it's going to be the square root of 9.8 squared plus 4.9 squared, which is going to be 10.96. And that there is your distance from P to Q.